No,
All
I
right, all
just
right,
lost
all right.
audio.
How are we doing, everyone? We
Wait, did I
are
lose?
going to recap and talk
Did I
about the
lose
trade
audio?
deadline today as it counts down. How's it going today, Chase?
I think I lost audio again. Wait.
I can hear you.
Okay. Um, it's been an exciting trade deadline for sure. A lot of moves for my Phillies. A lot of moves for the Yankees. I saw Ryan McMahon hit the walk off. I think that was last night. So that was a
Last
great
night,
move
yeah.
for them. But a lot going well.
Yeah, and we have Jeff Passan pulled up here on the other side of the screen. Another trade has just been made. This time, the Los Angeles Dodgers will be getting Alex Call from the Washington Nationals. So, Alex Call, um, he's a younger outfielder. He is 30, and he was taken by the White Sox in the third round of the 2016 amateur draft. And he spent the last couple of years with Washington. I'm not really sure what the Dodgers' real reason is behind this move. We don't yet know who the Nationals got in return. Um, but yeah, this year, 274 with 3 home runs on 54 hits with 26 RBIs. So he's a good, I would say, backup outfielder to have out there um, in Los Angeles. What do you think?
Yeah. If we know who's playing outfield for center field for the Andy Pages. So
Yeah.
I don't really get that move either. Good move, I guess, for depth. But other than that, I don't see any real reason behind that to get younger in depth.
Yeah. Um, but once we let that cool down, we see what else Passan has to say about that trade or potentially some other trades. You can see the guys on the thumbnail of this live stream today. Stephen Kwan is still yet to move. One of the guys on there, Bednar, was traded to the Yankees earlier today. And then Sandy Alcantara, who has really been a real source of contention over the last little bit in terms of trades. He seems to also be on the move soon as well. Rangers, who were talking to Dylan Cease, are now talking to the Diamondbacks about Merrill Kelly, which is interesting as well. I'm not really sure what the Rangers are going to do with that or who they're going to have to give up in a situation like that, but that could be interesting. I think Merrill Kelly will be one of the guys that will end up being on the move there. What do you think a return for Merrill Kelly could look like?
So, followers of the podcast know I am not a baseball guy whatsoever. But return sounds cool. So, I'm sure it'll be good. And whoever's trading for Merrill Kelly needs pitching, probably. So,
Yes, the
always a good
Rangers do
move.
need pitching. Um, I don't know exactly. We could pull up Merrill Kelly here. He's had a pretty good year. He's obviously um, he's a little bit on the older side, 36 for the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks have been real sellers so far at the deadline here. But Kelly this year,
Pretty
he's
good
been okay,
ERA,
sporting a
3.2.
3.22 ERA.
It's
It's
pretty
the
good.
lowest has been in a while, over 22 games. Of course, he had an injury-shortened season last year. Of course, growing concerns as he continues to get older. But Merrill Kelly looks like he might be one of those guys soon on the move there from the Diamondbacks. And I guess that also means that the Rangers could be a potential option there. They're also saying that the Yankees are still might be looking for starting pitching, so that could be a guy like Merrill Kelly, Dylan Cease. I assume Dylan Cease is going to have a pretty high asking point from the San Diego Padres. But I don't know. The Rangers, they have DeGrom, they have Evaldi. I think that they'll be just fine without getting Merrill Kelly there. We can also recap some trades from earlier today. We know the big one, the one that's caused a lot of controversy between the Oakland Athletics and the San Diego Padres, and that was Mason Miller and J.P. Sears were headed to San Diego in exchange for Leo DeVries, who is the third overall prospect in baseball for a closer and a second-rate starting pitcher, and that has caused a lot of controversy in San Diego because, of course, they got Mason Miller, who is one of the best young relief pitchers in the league by far. But at what cost, and at what cost to their future? Because if they're selling now, they really got to have some guys next up in a couple of years, and I don't think selling Leo DeVries there was necessarily going to be the right answer for them.
Yeah, I want to look at. So they have Tatis locked up. Other than that, what are we going for the Padres? I mean, um,
Uh,
trading a prospect like if he's a third overall pick in the draft and you trade him immediately like that, then I don't know how you feel about that. If you need relief pitching that bad, then trading for an all-star, of course, is vital. That's a great trade. But one, depending on how old Mason Miller is, how I would say that's a good move for the
no,
Padres.
Mason Miller's
Unless
young,
you're in
and
a win now mode.
I think that right now the Padres are going to be looking to get probably a good return for Cease. Is what they're assuming. I don't know how good that return is going to be, considering we're now 45 minutes out from the end of the trade deadline, and it doesn't seem to be a huge market for him right now. But we are
Second in their division.
we're definitely looking forward to something like that. Let's see what else is going on.
Looking at a wild card spot right now. So I'd say if relief pitching is what the Padres need, they're in a win now mode. That's a good trade for current day.
Yeah, I think that it's an interesting trade. Although I'm going to disagree with you there and say that I think that the Padres are kind of selling a lot of their main guys right now. So I wouldn't necessarily say for sure that they're really going to be looking to go to win now, especially as we know that the Dodgers are really going to run away with that division, and you see the Giants coming up close behind him.
Yeah.
While we wait for something else to drop, though, we talk about Carlos Correa. This is obviously one of the big blockbusters from today. He is headed back. What's up, Ryan? How we doing? Ryan's Big Blue Podcast in the chat. Make sure you guys go check him out if you're a fan of the New York Giants. But Carlos Correa, he is headed back to his former home in Houston with the Houston Astros. They let him slip a couple years ago to the Twins, where he signed a pretty big contract that now seems that the Houston Astros will need to pick back up again. So I think that was definitely an interesting move to get him back, especially with a guy like Jeremy Pena, who the Astros have been kind of conditioning to be their replacement for Carlos Correa over the past couple years, and it seems that experiment is coming to a close as Correa is now definitely for sure returning back to Houston.
I would say that's a great move for the Astros. We know Carlos Correa is a great player. Obviously, they're leading in their division by looks like 5 games, and now with Correa, Jose Altuve is still who he is, and they have other stars as well. They're going to run away with the NL West for sure. AL West.
Yeah, and what's up, Connor? Your thoughts on the Ohtani trade? Not really an Ohtani trade right now. He did exit the game, unfortunately, last night with some cramping, so he was hurt on the mound there. But Connor, not really sure what source you're getting that from. Ryan says, feel like I'm back in 2016 again with that move. Haven't paid much attention to baseball since. Yeah, as a Yankees fan, I have some PTSD really back to that 2016, 2017, 2018 Astros team there. So it's going to be interesting to see Carlos Correa return to the Bronx someday in that uniform. So yeah, certainly, though, it definitely has brought me back. And now, once again, 2 of those guys from the 2017 team, this time up the middle with Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa, like Chase said, will be back together for the first time in a couple years. Connor saying he just reported it. I don't know who's rich enough in baseball to pick up that contract there. But yeah, I think that I don't know, excellent trade. And I just saw Carlos Correa said that, quote, I let them know that there is only one team I would allow that to happen. And of course, that's him referring to the Astros were the only team that he'd be open to getting traded to. And of course, that worked out very well for him. In terms of the Yankees, like I said, David Bednar is headed to the Bronx, two-time All-Star closer for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Ryan saying Ohtani to the Reds. He wasn't lying. Honestly, of all teams, the Reds right now would probably be the team that I wouldn't be so surprised about if they somehow went out and shopped for Shohei Ohtani, because they got Brian Hayes yesterday and they've been making big moves throughout the rest of the weekend. And, I think that that's certainly going to be an up year for them. But as I was saying, David Bednar, Jake Bird, both relief pitchers heading to the Bronx today, which I'm pretty happy about as well.
Both good moves. Both look like good moves.
Yeah, we're now within 40 minutes of the MLB trade deadline. According to sources, Yankees are still pushing hard for Marlins starting pitcher Sandy Alcantara. And Miami really wants Spencer Jones, which I think is another big talk. Because I don't think Spencer Jones is going to be on the move. I don't think George Lombard Jr. is going to be on the move. I don't think Cam Schlittler is going to be on the move. So I think that trade isn't going to end up happening with the Yankees. I know probably in the Eugenio Suarez trade, one of the reasons we got McMahon instead of him is that they were likely requesting one of those three guys that I just mentioned, which isn't going to happen. And the biggest prospect we've given up thus far would be Rafael Flores, catching prospect to Pittsburgh in the Bednar trade. So Cashman is doing a pretty good job of holding on to those select few prospects that he's going to be looking to make a big difference with in a couple of years. Let's see, we could talk about the Phillies while we wait a little bit, of course.
One team that I do know. Thank you.
They had their big trade, Yon Duran from the Twins to the Phillies. I will say I was a little upset to see Mick Abel go, because I think that he was going to be one of the guys that would be a real difference maker in your pitching room in a couple of years, but we could pull up his stats here.
The one thing I can say about being an all Philly fan, growing up with Philly fans are always in the win now. They unless the young guy that they get has a below 1 ERA or averaging 30 points a game, they don't care about him. So this trade for Joan Duran, who I believe is a relief pitcher, it will be good because obviously the Phillies bullpen has been struggling for years. Zach Wheeler's back is breaking after carrying them for so long. But yeah, after losing Jose Alvarado to Ozempic and other pitchers I forget, yeah. But that's a good move for us.
Yeah. I would just
I saw they got another guy from the Twins too. I forget what the Twins are just selling out.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring this up real quick, going back to the Padres quickly. This is an interesting point that someone made. Traded in the last couple of years, the Padres have traded Mackenzie Gore, C.J. Abrams, James Wood, Jarlin Susana, Robert Hassel, Braden Nett, Nunez, Leo Dallas DeVries, and Robbie Snelling. And for that, they've received no rings, Mason Miller, J.P. Sears, and Michael King, who will be a free agent at the end of the year. So, and of course,
sounds like a decent return.
No, of course, Mackenzie Gore, C.J. Abrams, James Wood are now stars for the Washington Nationals, who are really going to be rebuilding around those three. Although Mackenzie Gore was another one of the guys that they said could be traded. So yeah, Nationals, they've done a really good job. John Heyman has once again said that the Rangers are making a strong push now on Merrill Kelly, and that is it from Jeff Passan. The Texas Rangers are acquiring right-hander Merrill Kelly from the Arizona Diamondbacks. So John Heyman right on it, making that final push, and now Jeff Passan with the final call, and that is going to be the first big trade of our trade deadline wrap-up show. Merrill Kelly to the Arizona Diamondbacks, and we were just talking about him. I'm interested to see what the return is. Like we said, 36 years of age. He has been with Arizona his entire career this year, sporting a 3.22 ERA, 46 earned runs in 22 games, but he has been pretty damn good, and the Rangers, already in the comments of Jeff Passan, are very, very, very happy to have him in Texas.
A guy with a 3.22 ERA would be definitely helpful for the Rangers. If we remember, they just won a World Series 2 years ago. Now they're third in their division, tied with the Mariners. So definitely a good step to get back to winning World Series again.
Definitely. Waiting to see the return from the Rangers to the Diamondbacks, and we'll see the full extent of what that will be in just a moment. Let's see what we got, if there's any news yet. Not seeing anything yet about who will be going in return to the Arizona Diamondbacks, but that's just an absolutely huge, huge trade that drops there from Jeff Passan. Not sure yet. But yeah, Merrill Kelly. We could break him down a little bit more. He's been injury prone the last couple of seasons. You can see he only played 13 games last season. He played 5 in the COVID-shortened 2020 season. But he's on pace to pretty much shatter whatever record he had, 33 games started in 2022. And yeah, he's been looking good. 22 games started this season. Of course, injuries with Corbin Burns early in the year with the Arizona Diamondbacks. But yeah, he's looked pretty good. Limited walks, 38 walks compared to 121 strikeouts, and just over a 1 whip, which is pretty good in this day and age. So yeah, Rangers just made a huge move there. They got a guy who's going to help them out a whole lot over the next little bit, especially until Corbin Burns will return from his injury. But yeah, huge, huge deal there for Texas, especially with now the front three, which I think is going to be the best front three in baseball that they've now assembled, with Jacob deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi, Merrill Kelly, followed up by Jack Leiter, Patrick Corbin, and Kumar Rocker are going to be the guys there. Of course, Patrick Corbin, the only lefty, but that's not really going to mean much in the grand scheme of things when you have 3 of the best pitchers in baseball as your top 3 leaders.
Yeah, great pickup for them, especially because I'm looking, saying they're ranked 23rd in the power rankings right now, 11th in the American League, so help them out a lot with that side.
Yeah. And Rangers, of course, have Tyler Mahle on the injured list right now with that rotator cuff strain. So this is going to be pretty good to get a guy going. And we have more breaking news. Wow. According to Jack Curry, the Yankees have just traded top infield prospect and current major leaguer Oswald Peraza to the Los Angeles Angels. Okay, that's a lot. I don't know necessarily who the return is going to be. I assume it's going to be for a pitcher there.
Wow.
hold on a moment while I find out a little bit more about this, because that is a pretty insane trade to make half an hour before the deadline, especially as Peraza has been playing a lot this season. Wow. So that's Jack Curry on yes. And now Willie Castro to the Cubs for prospects. Lots going on right now. Lots going on right now. So let's talk about Oswald Peraza first. We're unsure of the return yet, but he will be headed to the Angels, and it seems like that trade got done during the rain delay that just ended. So he will be exiting the game now for the Yankees this season, batting 152 with 3 home runs, 13 RBIs. He made his debut back in 2022, but has been hopping in between the majors and minors for the Yankees, but most games played in his career so far this year. But, of course, the Yankees got Ahmed Rosario earlier this week, and they've kind of made some moves as well as with Ryan McMahon around the infield, so there's not as much of a need for Oswald Peraza anymore. And then Willie Castro, utility man from the Twins, Jeff Passan, has just confirmed that he will be heading to the Chicago Cubs, which is huge because they, of course, are lacking at the third base position, and Willie Castro can play that for them. He was an all-star last year, this year batting 245, 27 RBIs, and 10 home runs. A lot going on right now.
That Peraza trade, it puzzles me a little bit. I get they just traded for McMahon, so their infield is good, and he is batting 152, which isn't great. You can admit it's not great for 71 games, 170 plate appearances, 3 home runs, 1 batting 150 isn't great. But the guy's only 25, 4 years in the league. You're hopping him through the majors and the minors. I wouldn't give up on him that early, especially if the return isn't another young guy that can give them more value.
Yeah, certainly. I'm not 100% sure really who we have gotten yet. I would hope that it would be some sort of pitcher, whether a bullpen guy, because Oswald Peraza is MLB ready really at this stage. I'm not really sure. Still have nothing about who it would be. Yeah, unsure of the return yet. We know Willie Castro was traded for prospects from the Cubs, so we'll soon see who those prospects are. But pretty insane.
Another Twins guy.
Yeah, Twins. We knew Willie Castro, I think, was going to be on the move. But
He's not playing great either.
so we are at 3 on the trade counter so far since we have started the live stream. So
A little less than a half hour left.
little less than half an hour left. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. We are almost at the end here. Tara asking, who did the Phillies get? Yesterday, the Phillies acquired Yon Duran, which was their big blockbuster from the Twins. Big closer, probably one of the best closers in baseball.
And got Harrison Bader today too.
And Harrison Bader earlier today as well. Thank you for reminding me.
I like that Bader trade a lot for the Phillies.
I do as well. I think Harrison Bader, there were rumors that he was going to come back to the Yankees at some point. I am personally not happy. Would not have been happy with that. I think that he's had a lot of injuries throughout his career. So I think you guys will probably have good luck with him. But yeah, Twins
Yeah,
really did a good job of selling at the deadline. I'm still
we've
interested to
had a
see
lot of.
what happened with Oswald Peraza because we are still unsure of the return there. So
Yeah, we've had a lot of center field drama going on this season. Brandon Marsh, um, playing questionable. Johan Rojas, that's another conversation. He could have a whole podcast on Johan Rojas. And Max Kepler has been. I was looking forward to seeing him play this season, but very disappointing, in
yeah,
my opinion, for me.
so Oswald Peraza is out of options. So just because of how many players the Yankees have picked up, he would have probably gotten sent down um, anyways. So it's good to trade him. I assume we'll probably be getting prospects back, and I also think then that J.C. Escara, who was sent down yesterday, um, will be making his way back up to be the real backup catcher for the Yankees. Um, yeah, still nothing on the return. um,
Cash considerations.
did you see that?
No, I'm just joking.
I mean, it very well could be. Um, Uncle Al wants to know if Chase wants some smoke. I break ankles. Chase,
Yes, 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 yes. Tell him yes. Tell him yes. I've been waiting.
okay, he says yes. So Oswald Peraza was with the Yankees for 9 years. He was a pretty good defender. He could really play anywhere on the infield, but yeah, that's going to do it. Let's talk about Willie Castro, though. Let's see if we could get the return from him. So we know it's going to be prospects, according to John Heyman, and Willie Castro can play second base, shortstop, third base, left field, center field, and right field. So practically every position other than on the mound behind the plate or at first, which is huge for the Cubs, who, when it comes to injury concerns, third base, with John Birdie really being their only third baseman at the time, it's going to be big for Willie Castro, and I assume that that's where he's going to be making a lot of his starts over on the third base side. Someone saying that's my boy in the chat as well. Chase, all of your fans are here, it seems.
I draw crowds regularly.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, so we're still waiting on the true returns for both Willie Castro and Oswald Peraza.
Did we get the return from Merrill Kelly?
Oh, yes, let's look at that. I think everyone is struggling right now to figure out what is happening. Okay. Merrill Kelly, the Diamondbacks will receive 3 pitching prospects: left-handed pitcher Cole Drake, who is in AAA, and the number 5 prospect in the Rangers organization, left-handed pitcher Mitch Bratt, who is AA. The number 9th number 9th prospect in the Rangers organization, and right-handed pitcher David Hageman in Single A. He is number 13th pitcher. Prospect in the organization. So Diamondbacks, 3 top pitching prospects in return for an aging Merrill Kelly.
I'd say that's a pretty even trade. Good return.
Yes, I would say that that's probably pretty good. Yankees will be getting Wilberson De Pena and international signing money for Peraza. So we can go take a look at Wilmer De Pena, or Wilberson De Pena, excuse me. Wilberson De Pena. He is 18 years old. Interesting. Okay. So Wilberson DePena is in, I think that's Florida Complex League rookie ball with the Angels. He is 18 years old. Batted 211 this season.
Hmm.
He is an outfielder. Okay, so basically what I'm seeing here is the Yankees needed to get rid of Oswald Peraza pretty quickly. And they got back a guy who is 18 years old, hasn't made it even to the real minor league system yet at low A. And yeah, and they got some money as well. So not necessarily the biggest trade there. We're also waiting on Willie Castro. I assume the amount of money then that the Yankees got would be pretty substantial, considering that, again, major league ready infielder for a Florida Complex League rookie ball player, whose season is already over, by the way. Let's see return for Willie Castro. Oh, and just in case you're wondering, from the Twins, Willie Castro, Danny Colom, Carlos Correa, Harrison Bader, Brock Stewart, Yohan Duran, and Chris Paddock have all been traded away from the Twins so far at the deadline, and we are just reaching now 20 minutes.
What do they have left over there? So few relief pitchers.
Byron Buxton, who, by the way, says that he wants to play his entire career with the Twins. I don't really know how that's going to go now.
Sounds like agony.
Okay, so the reason we haven't heard the return for Willie Castro yet is because they're negotiating for Joe Ryan to be a part of the trade as well. Of course, another Twins guy that they're also looking to trade away this year, a 2.82 ERA in 21 games, 20 starts, over 121 innings. So I assume that means that the return for the Cubs, much bigger return for the Cubs, and then much bigger return in terms of prospects, I would assume, for the Twins as well.
He was an all-star this season, too.
Yes, Joe Ryan is quite a good pitcher, so it'd certainly be interesting to see how much the Cubs are really going to have to give up. I'm so interested about the Peraza trade. So, I guess from the Angels side, this trade makes sense, as Rengifo and Yohan Moncada will either be gone next year or at this deadline. So I assume then that means that Peraza will be getting a starting nod in Los Angeles probably pretty soon, and would have comparable playing time at least to what's happening. We got another trade. We're up to 5, and the Royals will be getting Bailey Falter. So that's going to be 5 trades in the last hour now. And again, from Jeff Passan, we have it confirmed. The Kansas City Royals will be getting Bailey Falter from the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Okay. Looks decent. 3.73 ERA, 7-5 win record.
Bailey Falter, of course, Pittsburgh, we know that they have been selling former Philly guy there, then moved over to Pittsburgh in 2023. This year, you're right, 3.73 ERA. 22 games started, 47 earned runs, 95 hits over that time, and 7-5, but he was on the Pirates, so don't worry about his win-loss records. I think the last guy we're really still waiting on then, Sandy Alcantara, Stephen Kwan, who I mentioned at the beginning. I haven't seen much movement regarding really either of them. Um,
Yikes. 6.36 ERA. Yes, you
who?
need to trade this guy. Sandy Alcantara.
Yeah, I mean, he's a
Yes, you
former
need to trade this guy.
he's a former Cy Young winner though, so they're just teams are assuming that he'll have a higher upside, I guess, if something does end up going through there. But yes, Jeff Passan and John Heyman on that one pretty quickly. Still approaching this final little bit of time here.
15
15
minutes.
minutes. Just about to remark that as well. I will say I'm not incredibly happy with what the Yankees had to give up for Bird with their second trade really there. Rock Riggio and Ben Shields, they are both excellent prospects. I think Riggio would have been helpful in the infield in a couple of years. Shields, a great pitcher as well. So not 100% sure really if we need to give up that much. But Jake Bird, just another way to bolster that bullpen, which we certainly needed. All right. Okay, sorry. So we're actually going to just switch gears really quickly. Breaking news, the New York Knicks forward Mikal Bridges has agreed to a 4-year, $150 million extension.
Finally, something I can talk about. Um,
Go quick, because then we just got something from the MLB as well. Go quick.
150 million for 4 years. Pretty good deal. Considering how he played in the playoffs, especially against the Celtics, defensive stalwart in that series. But after you fire Tom Thibodeau, limbo for your coaches. Um, Good to seal up your guys. Cat is locked in for the next few years. Brunson is locked in for, I believe, 4 or 5 years. And now you're locked in Mikal Bridges for 4 years. So your core three that carried you to the conference finals last year are locked in. That's good for the Knicks.
I'll add that onto the stream there. 5 final hour trades plus a Mikal Bridges extension equals a lot of stuff going on right now. According to sources, let me pull this up so I can tell you exactly who reported this. Craig Mish of Newswire and Miami Marlins reporter says that the Miami Marlins will not be trading Sandy Alcantara today, and they will keep him as their ace. So that seems to be it, and that was really the last Yankees guy that they seemed to really be targeting in terms of starting pitching. From John Heyman, let's pull this up. Not a trade yet, but we know he's guessed right a couple of times. Oh my God, sorry, never mind. He's guessed right again. The Boston Red Sox will be acquiring Dustin May from the Los Angeles Dodgers. Wow.
That's a name I know.
That is a huge trade for the Red Sox. They've been looking to bolster their pitching as well. And Dustin May is an expendable starting pitcher there for that Dodgers team. Of course, he missed all of last season with an injury this year. In his return, 4.85 ERA in 18 games started. He hasn't been too great at holding the long ball at 16 home runs. And John Heyman confirms. Whoa, sorry. Another big trade. If you want to talk about Dustin May real quick while I get this pulled up.
Yeah, Dustin May, throwing a 4.85 ERA, not great, but there was a time in 2023 before he missed an entire season, 2.63 ERA. So he can pitch. That will be very helpful for the Red Sox, who right now are third in their division. Got to up the Yankees, which, let's be real, probably won't happen. But they could definitely boost their record, try to steal a wild card spot from one of these other teams. It's a great
Yeah,
move for
so
them.
the other trade, Jose Caballero, who actually, I believe, is playing a game against the Yankees right now. It's currently the top of the seventh inning at Yankee Stadium. Jose Caballero has just been traded to the Yankees mid-game.
How do you break that news?
So Jack Curry says Jose Caballero is headed to the Rays for Everson Pereira and a player to be named later. He has just been pulled from the Yankees game, and he will walk over to the other dugout. And he is tied for the MLB lead with 34 stolen bases. Wow. That is absolutely huge for the Yankees to pick up a guy like that who almost ruined the game for us last night because he is a speedy guy out there. I'll pull up his Baseball Savant page here so that you can see.
This move is going to be one of those things that they mention in those baseball Instagram posts. Like, remember when Jose Caballero got traded mid game?
Yeah, so Jose Caballero, 90th percentile on base running run value, and he is an excellent fielder, 84th percentile in range. But he is very speedy. This season, 226 average, 54 hits in of 234 plate appearances. At bats, I mean. But when he gets on base, he really gets on base. So Jack Curry was first on that one. Jeff Passan yet to confirm, but I think that we know that one has certainly happened. So with that, final hour trades goes up to 7. And Jose Caballero is a Yankee. Insane. Yep, Brian Hoke, the beat reporter for MLB, is saying Jose Caballero is getting hugs in the Rays dugout, and he will be joining the Yankees over on the first base side. This is absolutely ridiculous. He is just literally in the game right now with the Yankees. And he almost beat us last night, so. Wow. Okay. 8 minutes to go. This has been quite eventful so far. I'm pretty happy that the Yankees get a guy like that because, speed has been a problem for us for as long as I can remember. Back to the Tyler Wade days when he would be our go-to pinch runner. So yeah.
My question is, where do you? Oh yeah, pinch runner. Yeah, that's the situation.
And I think that the Peraza trade is all making sense now. They need to get rid of him quickly in order to open up the spot for Caballero on the roster. So it seems that J.C. Escarra will be staying down after all.
Yeah, that trade was probably in the works before the Peraza trade.
I will say now, just during, I believe it was a 2 hour and 45-minute rain delay, something like that. Brian Cashman got very busy, just walked over to the Rays. And now, the Rays have just made a corresponding move. The Rays will be getting Adrian Hauser from the White Sox. That is now 8 final hour trades. And let's take a look here at Adrian Hauser.
This guy looks like a dog. 2.10 ERA, 6.2 win-loss record.
And he is 32.
11 games started, 11 games played.
32 years of age in his 9th year of professional baseball. Milwaukee, the
Only
Mets. Chicago,
three
White
home
Sox.
runs allowed. This guy's nice.
Yes, and now the Tampa Bay Rays. Um, that's awesome. That's really, really good. Another trade. Reliever Phil Maton is going from the Texas Rangers to the St. Louis Cardinals. That is nine final hour trades, as we are just 5 minutes away now from the final trade deadline for the MLB in 2025. We could take a look here at some stats for Phil.
I got it. 1-3 win-loss record. 2.35 ERA. Only one home run given up and just above a 1 WHIP.
Yes, 32 years of age as well. So the Rangers. Okay, so it seems like Phil Maton is going to be the Ryan Helsley replacement for the St. Louis Cardinals. And then the Tampa Bay Rays get Adrian Hauser. I will just want to pull up what the Rays' return was for Jose Caballero in Everson Pereira, who did play a little bit in the majors with the Yankees, but he had Tommy John a couple of years ago. He played in 27 games.
Now in the
and he was with AAA.
Final 5 minutes.
Yes, and he was with AAA now this year, batting .254, so just working his way back from injury. And another player to be named later is included in that trade, which is worth noting as well. Oh, sorry, I apologize. Phil Maton is going from the St. Louis Cardinals to the Texas Rangers. Oh! According to Bleacher Report, I haven't seen this anywhere else yet. Nestor Cortez. Yeah. Nestor Cortez is on the move, and he is heading to the San Diego Padres. So a former Yankee there will now be heading to the Padres. Not officially tweeted out by Passan or anyone yet, but it has been busy. It seems that could be 10 final hour trades. Let's take a look if anyone like Passan has made that connection yet. Yeah, so let's take a look at some Nestor Cortez stats. Of course, Yankees was traded preseason in the Devin Williams trade, and now is on the move less than a season later from the Brewers to the Padres. And I assume that the Padres will be giving up something good, which is why we are yet to hear what that return is, and Jeff Passan is yet to tell us what's going on. But this season, 9 ERA. It's going to be for Brandon Lockridge. Brandon Lockridge, another former Yankees guy who was traded, I believe, in the Juan Soto trade. But that is from John Heyman. Brandon Lockridge. He is fast. He is really, really fast. Infielder. He made his MLB debut last year with the Padres. This season, batting .216 with 8 stolen bases in 47 games played. So him and Caleb Durbin, who is another former Yankees guy, also in that trade earlier this season with Devin Williams. He will be part of that trade. He will be another guy reunited with Lockridge there. Pirates will not be trading Andrew Heaney or Dennis Santana by the deadline, which is now 2 minutes away. A lot going on. Oh. Okay, nothing yet. Whoa! Camilo Doval has been traded to the Yankees from the Giants. Whoa. That is a huge trade. Let's get his stats pulled up for you here. Camilo Doval. He throws hard.
28 years old. 4-2 record, up just above a 3 ERA. 2 home runs given up, and a 1.2 WHIP.
According to reports, the Tigers are working hard for a starting pitcher as we speak. Camilo Doval, though, I'm very, very happy with this. He is an amazing, amazing relief pitcher. So now that's David Bednar, Jake Bird, Camilo Doval, who are all going to help bolster that Yankees bullpen. Unsure of what the return is yet. Jeff Passan on that one, as is Jack Curry. Wow. Wow. Yankees, they have put it all together. And now it is officially 6 o'clock, so while we wait for the rest of the trades to roll in, that is officially it for the MLB trade deadline. I'm sure a few more will continue to tick in as the reporters continue to get caught up here with what is going on. But wow. For the Yankees, I just mentioned it, but the bullpen has gotten a million times better than it was right before this. I'm going to be interested again to see what the return is for that. So, 11 final hour trades from what we can tell. Jack Curry says that the Yankees have a bullpen that has a 6.38 ERA across the last 27 games. And now we have basically just absolutely saved that. We might be waiting on the Tigers to potentially gain a starting pitcher. Tampa Bay Rays and Charlie Morton. Oh my God. Okay. 2 more trades. We are up to 13. The Tampa Bay Rays have acquired Griffin Jax. We'll get to that one first, since that's what came in first from Passan. Griffin Jax. This is another guy from the Twins here. This year sporting 1-5,
30 years
4.5
old.
ERA in 50 games. He is an amazing, amazing reliever as well. And that is Griffin Jax, as I said, to the Tampa Bay Rays, who have really just bolstered that starting rotation. And then Charlie Morton, who has been around for as pretty much as long as I have been watching baseball. Charlie Morton on the Blue Jays, Orioles now kind of in his final years, 41 years of age. He will be heading to the Tigers, and they have gotten a starting pitcher that they can use for the remainder of the season. That is 13. Yes, I said it, 13 final hour trades. Okay, how you feeling, Chase? Chase has had to hop off, it seems. But while we recap this final little bit of the deadline, I don't know if anything else is coming in. It seems like that might be it. Well, it seems like that is going to do it for the deadline. 13 final hour trades across the MLB. A Mikal Bridges extension locked in. Chase had to run, but we thank him so much for being here, and we thank everyone else who tuned in to this live stream. Hopefully, we could bring this back soon in the next couple of years because I really enjoyed doing this. The Yankees, I think, have gotten a lot better, so I'm happy with that as well. Thank you to Jeff Passan and all of those for making a stream like this possible. It seems Chase says that he is back on, so we will pull him back on.
Hello.
Chase, yes.
All right.
We're just rounding out the stream right now because it seems like that's pretty much going to do it. Any final thoughts?
Action packed. A lot of pitchers moved. The Twins just absolutely clearing house, selling